And to discuss more about this, we are now being joined by Mithali Nikor, and she's the founder of Nikor Associates. She joins us live from Delhi. Welcome to the broadcast, Mithali.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk about this topic.
It's always a pleasure having you. So my first question is, what is your reading of the numbers for Infosys, TCS, HCL Tech and Wipro?
So, I think the first thing I'd like to begin with is we don't acknowledge enough how transformational the Indian IT industry has really been for our economy. To be very honest with you, I describe myself as an Indian IT baby because my father has been a leader of the Indian IT sector for his entire career, his entire life, starting from a very humble background to, reaching where he did. And the fact is that the Indian IT industry has been providing employment and growth, and FDI inflows are amongst the highest in the industry. And the leaders are, of course, the big four IT firms, as we say. Now, if we look at the current, economic sort of numbers that are coming out of the firms and out of the entire industry in general, I would say that currently the market valuation of the Indian IT industry stands between 220 to 230 billion, and the big four firms, of course, account for about 80 to 85% of this market. And the growth rate, the growth of these IT firms is projected to be $350 billion by 2025. So, when we look at the current numbers that are coming out of the firms and the deals that have just been struck, we look at the deals and we find that many of them are in the range of 500 million to almost 1.2, 1.3 billion dollars for multiple years. But these deals are what we call mega deals. So the current buoyancy in the market and optimism in the market comes from these mega deals, which have been struck in the post-COVID period. And that's what is bringing some of the growth back.
And Mithali, if I were to ask you, what is your outlook for the Indian tech sector in 2024?
So, very honestly, I think the Indian tech sector has a lot going for it. As I just described, it's really a story of transformation. It's a story of a sector that's taken India forward on the global stage. And as I was saying, currently it's about 7 to 8% of GDP. NASSCOM projections suggest it will go to about 10% of GDP. I also agree with the NASSCOM projections. In fact, I feel like it could even exceed it. There is a potential to exceed it. However, what we actually need to see in the IT industry and what we are starting to see is a lot of collaboration between the bigger firms and smaller startups, that have spun out of these firms. So, a lot of senior people spending their careers in the firms and then going out and, trying to find something more innovative that they can do with it. And of course, there is, the threat and opportunity that AI presents. Of course, the opportunity is that by leveraging AI effectively, the industry could cut costs, which is, one of the major issues that it's facing at the moment, that the kind of competitive advantage that costs offered historically is no longer, available to the industry because costs are rising and AI presents that opportunity. But it also presents a threat, to the outsourcing model in toto. So there is therefore a need for the industry to invest more in research and development, in innovation, and try to bring more and more competitive advantage through tech products rather than only IT services.
Okay, and Mithali, do you think that the Indian tech sector will propel Nifty 50 beyond 25,000 points?
Absolutely. I have no doubt about that, because if any one sector can do it, it is IT. And the size of the deals, the quantum of the deals, the breadth of the deals that are coming through right now definitely indicate that, that's the direction in which we are heading. The only threat to that direction is the clauses of the deals. At this point in time, the risk factor that the big companies in the IT sector are having to take has increased. In 2019, 65% of the deals that were struck in the IT industry involved a clause which is called a cost reduction clause, i.e., if you don't show a certain amount of cost reduction, there will be a penalty imposed on you as the service provider. Today, that quantum of deals has exceeded 80%. More than 80% of deals have this cost reduction clause. So I think what the IT sector is increasingly being asked to do by its clients is actually put their money where their mouth is and really show that cost reduction. So I think if the industry can show this cost reduction, it can have more and more skill training for its personnel, leverage AI, then there is no stopping the industry, and of course develop more knowledge products.
Well, something to look forward to. And on that note, Mithali, thanks for joining in and sharing your insights. It was good to have you.
Thank you.